What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Select Your Character. Sorry I'm recording this really crappy last-minute video because I wanted to get the video out by tonight, but this one's on Professor E. Gadd. Really hope you guys enjoy it. Peace.
Alright, so when it comes to this series, ever since the beginning, I've been analyzing these characters in chronological order of their first appearance, usually going console by console. I started in the arcades with Donkey Kong, and then moved on to the NES, then the Game Boy, then the Super NES, and even the N64, so now it's time to move on to that good old purple box, baby! 2001 saw the launch of the Nintendo GameCube, a system whose graphics alone were a humongous jump up from its polygonal predecessor, but on top of that, this system had some of the most unique and memorable games in Nintendo's catalog to date. Mario Sunshine, Smash Melee, Metroid Prime, and of course the granddaddy of all spooky boos, Luigi's Mansion. When it comes to important and popular characters from the GameCube era, one specific little gremlin typically comes to mind. However, when the system was first released in 2001, it wasn't Mario Sunshine that was leading the charge at launch. Instead, Nintendo opted to take one of the biggest risks in their entire history and launched the GameCube alongside a brand new style exploration game starring not Mario, but his brother, Green Mario. Luigi's Mansion was awesome, man. It had ghosts, a vacuum, a scary house, and this sound at the press of a button. Mario! However, if I had to guess, I would say that out of everything that came out of this weird but cool new game, the most memorable was probably its brand new character and ultimate plot convenience. That's right, it's the Mario series' resident mad scientist, Professor E. Gadd. Now, when I was originally making the plans for this series, I didn't think I was going to make an episode about E. Gadd, but then I realized just how important he is across the entirety of the Mario series. It's kind of sad that we don't see much of him nowadays, because back in the GameCube era, this dude was just as important as, well, Toadsworth. Oh god, I hope he didn't disappear too. Now you may be asking, Nick, what the hell does this wormy little crackpot contribute to the greater Mario canon other than being a goofy side character in a Luigi game? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go through E. Gadd's history, scientific achievements, as well as inventions in order to prove to you just how important to the Mario cast this guy really is. Like I said before, Professor Elvin Gadd was first created for the game Luigi's Mansion in 2001 and acted as your guide throughout the game. He had apparently been spending lots of time in the mansion studying its paranormal activity since it mysteriously popped up one day. Yeah, apparently the mansion just sprouted out of the ground. Hey, maybe that's how Mario's castle was made. You see, E. Gadd is a scientist that primarily specializes in paranormal technology, but he's also invented plenty of other inventions that serve all kinds of different purposes. Let's take a walk through his Hall of Fame, shall we? First up, the Luigi's Mansion games. Now, E. Gadd has invented a lot of things for these games, but when it comes to his inventions, he's most well known as the creator of the Poltergust 3000, as well as its remodels, the 4000, the 5000, and the G00. Each one of the models is different in their own unique way, and they all have different functions that separate them apart from one another, depending on which game you're playing and the mechanic you're using. For the most part, though, the main function of every Poltergust is the same. It's a vacuum that sucks up ghosts. It's pretty self-explanatory. Actually, the newest model from Luigi's Mansion 3 actually has a plunger attachment as well as a containment unit for Gooigi, Luigi's slimy clone, also invented by E. Gadd. That's really weird. Now, to anyone who isn't as well versed in Mario lore as I am, you might think that this is the point at which the video should end. Professor E. Gadd, the scientist from Luigi's Mansion who invented the Poltergust. That's it, right? Or is it? I'm about to blow your mind. Strap in. Do you remember that little game called Super Mario Sunshine? It was the big mainline 3D Mario title for the GameCube, and it was released a year after Luigi's Mansion. This game was a classic and is probably most notable for its summery tropical theme. Sunny beaches, crystal clear waters, and swaying palm trees as far as the eye can see. However, that's not the only significant change they made to the Mario formula with this game. Super Mario Sunshine also introduced the world to Flood, Mario's robot, power washer, backpack, jetpack, friend thing. This is Flood. The reason I bring this up is because, and wait for it, are you ready? E. Gadd invented Flood. Boom. But wait, that's not all. He's also invented Bowser Jr.'s paintbrush? Not sure we can trust this man. That's right, not only was this googly-eyed little freak responsible for one of the mainline Mario games on the GameCube, he was responsible for two of them. It seems like he has his own workshop somewhere in the Mario world where he works on all of his out there and twisted inventions. However, E. Gadd doesn't only specialize in funky backpacks and art supplies. This dude actually has invented more tech in the Mario universe than Nintendo ever gives him credit for, especially nowadays. In Mario and Luigi Partners in Time travel plays a pretty huge role in the plot of the game. No shit. And believe it or not, the time machine that Mario and Luigi used to travel time in the game to meet their baby counterparts was invented by none other than Professor E. Gadd himself. What did I tell you? This dude is literally everywhere. Well, except the spin-offs. Okay, so with how important and relevant this character seems to the greater Mario canon, Egad has actually never been in Mario Kart, never been in Mario Tennis, never been in Mario Golf, and worst of all, never been to Chuck E. Cheese as a child. This poor guy probably has more FOMO than the guy who turned down Walt Disney. I'm sorry, Walt, but this Mickey Mouse character is probably the worst idea you've ever had. No one will ever love this character, let alone will he ever become a worldwide icon. Now get out of my office. Did I just do a cutaway gag? Personally, I love this character, and I would love to see him make a return soon. Technically speaking, the last time we saw him was in the HD remake of Luigi's Mansion 2 for the Switch, but if we're talking new appearances, the real last time we saw Egad was in Luigi's Mansion 3, and can I just say, oh my god, I love this game. Top 5 favorite games on the system by far. Hopefully, with the upcoming release of the Nintendo Switch 2, the Luigi's Mansion series will be revitalized, possibly in a way that Mario 64 or Donkey Kong Country reinvented their respective franchises. Maybe Luigi's Mansion 4 will introduce a brand new gameplay mechanic that will completely flip the script, or honestly, it might just be Luigi's Mansion, but bigger. And you know what? I'd honestly be okay with either one. The Luigi's Mansion series is so fun and unique, especially thanks to the exclusive characters like Professor Egad. If you haven't noticed, I tried not to talk about the plot or contents of any of the Luigi's Mansion games that much, and that's for two main reasons. Number one being I don't want to overshadow Egad in his own video, and number two being that I genuinely just want you to go experience these games for yourself if you're able to. They're that good. I also would like to save any other mansion-related tidbits for a future video. Wink wink. With the new console on the horizon, hopefully it's only a matter of time until our dear professor will grace us with his kooky appearance once again. Until then, Professor Egad will probably just be hard at work in his secret lab inventing the next great invention that will be the catalyst to Mario and Luigi's newest adventure. Or maybe he's in a retirement home somewhere with Toadsworth.